Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from UncleSte Gamers, and welcome. So today I want to show you another one of my quite crazy and overcomplicated contraptions, you could say. It's a sort of vertical takeoff fighter. Now, vertical takeoff in space is quite debatable because you've got thrusters, you can use them just to take off in any direction anyway, but I've used them more as a method of storing the landing gears in this whole one sort of separate engine bay rather than putting them in the hull or having bits dangling down below. You've seen the concept before, but I'll show you in a fighter form. We've also added some massive sort of sniper rifle cannons to the top to give this thing a little bit more firepower, and I'll show you the process of how it works. So we've got 4 of them lined up in here, and they're controlled basically by starting up the process of activating the loading ramp. So once the loading ramp is activated, it comes to the level where the pilot can actually get in the ship, like so, and then that would be controlled from up above, but I've got anyone else to actually test it with me at the moment. Now once that's happened, you'll notice there's a little baby turret up here, and in the big ship mega pack, these actually take up only 1 block, so they're perfect for small ship sort of defensive or rotary armament, something that your co-pilot could actually use or operate. So I'll show you the next stage. So what we're going to do is disengage our landing gears, then we're going to retract our landing gears into the actual thrusters themselves, so it gets it much more compact, and then we're going to lock these forward. I increased the speed of these as you guys recommended, so we could actually have a very sort of fast movement transfer between the 2 sort of stages. And then finally we have a number 6 to activate our thrusters themselves. So I'll show you that shortly. We're just going to power forward and we'll hit 6, full thruster force, and you can see just how fast we can reach that top speed, and we'll disengage them and we'll stabilize. And this ship is actually very stable for a ship using sort of rotors and extra extent, so we can actually move around this quite easily without too much problem. We've just got to slow down back to 0, and then we'll be able to move back forward using our small thruster engine, and we'll bring it back into the hangar to have a look. So we've got our cannons there like so, and we've also got Gatling guns, and we also have the little turret on top that we can control, the co-pilot control, and it's just useful for picking off them key parts of maybe an enemy ship if you're pursuing it. Now let's hop out of that and back into the driving seat. So I just thought I'd show you this little ship today. It's a cool little concept. I've not had too much time to mess around with it or take it into a battle, but obviously as it is a large small fighter, smaller fighters probably would tear it apart. The wings would probably come off as well, but you know, it's part of the fun of building these things. I mean, just look at that as you come up on it in the hangar, as these actual gears are folded back. They just look so cool. It looks so mechanical and sort of like, now let's see if Aaron can actually land this thing back in the hangar, because it is quite a big sort of small fighter. So we're going to bring that in. We're going to reverse our engines like so, nearly taking out the hangar door, and then we're just going to bring ourselves in using Q to actually level us off ever so slightly. We're going to extend our gears down, so with the push of the piston we can actually extend them down. We've got to line ourselves up here just so 1 block is there, and then the actual platform can come up to meet us if we want to offload the pilot. And a 7 should do it, and we're actually in position and we landed. So when it came to actually having a look at the design of this thing, I wanted to make it as smooth as possible with the blocks that I had available. So I whipped out UncleSte's armor block set and made as many curves and little bits of detail as you can see into the armor. I've also done a little bit of ribbing so I can get them reverse thrusters there to power and slow me down. And underneath I've got a little bit of hull. This is the only bit that I'm not really happy about. I've not found any other way of attaching a powerful enough engine into this ship without ruining the upper sort of cone, as you can see there. And it's kind of in Star Wars colours, you could say, at the moment, the sort of the rebellion sort of yellow and white. Quite an interesting little colour. I was going to add further engines, but the more engines you add in this sort of configuration, you get a lot of different problems with the vertical takeoff. Maybe I need to add some sort of feature though, maybe these on a rotor, these little landing gears, and what the rotors could do is you could hit the actual vertical takeoff mode and they would rotate back down to ground level, so these little piston ramps wouldn't be necessary. But I mean, it's all work in process at the moment, and I'd love to hear your sort of feedback and what sort of things you guys would add to it. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.